Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. I am here with Nick again after topping his regional with Centurion. Obviously, he's still playing the deck, and we were talking about it a little bit, and he was explaining to me about obviously how good the deck is, but it can be even pushed farther after the next set with Dimension Shifter, which obviously is the best counter to the Snake Guy Fire King strategy. That is going to be most likely tier 0. So being able to play this card in Centurion and still be able to do the full combo lines and still calamity lock people too, is just ridiculous. So I want to pass it off to him and explain it a little bit. And if you guys enjoy, please subscribe and feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. So yep, Nick, I'm passing this off to you about this deck and how it combos under Shifter and you can still calamity lock. And you said you wanted to show the combo at the end, any of the one card combos. You said there's multiple.
Yeah, sure. So this becomes available, I think, after YCS Raleigh. I think it's a week after Legacy Destruction releases, and they get 3 new cards, Centurions. I'll go over those very quickly. The main deck ones, we have a quick play spell that essentially gives you access to a level 4 or 8 token. We have a dragon who's not really relevant for that combo with Shifter, but he kind of supplants Emeth in many ways as like your high level non-tuner guy that comes out of the back row.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of cool. But the main one, really the best one, is the new level 12 Synchro, who instead of Legatia, who draws the card and then destroys on summon, this one searches a Centurion. And then instead of grabbing during the end phase from your hand or grave into the back row, this grabs from your banished or grave. Hint, hint, Shifter right there.
Yeah, just saying that banish from graveyard is probably the biggest thing for the makes this work,
yes.
right?
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, this wouldn't be possible, really.
Yeah.
Also protects your back row from being destroyed, your face-up back row. So it, for whatever that is, like it can stop like a Primera from being blown up by runic destruction, I guess. It's like it's like pretty minor, that last effect, but
yeah. When you're specifically playing against
there.
Jared playing Runic,
Yeah, specifically feels slightly better against Runic. You're still going to lose to like Flashing Fire or Tip for Flashing Fire, but whatever. Or like or the what do you call it, the Imperm one. Yeah. So all right, the Synchro though, really good. I think it's going to probably replace Legatia as your go-to Synchro in the deck. And I don't know if you're going to play the 2 Legatia anymore. This is a deck list that's like very, prototype kind of thing. It could very much change.
early stages. We don't even know the full format yet.
Exactly. That to bring up what you were saying before with Snake Eye, you said like the 3 most relevant trap cards. I mean, hand traps against them right now are Nib, Droll, and Shifter. But there's not really any deck that can play all 3 of those that is like on the newer side of things. Like maybe you could play those in Flu, you could play them in Kashtira, but I'm not really sure anybody thinks that those decks are going to be able to face up against Snake Eye currently.
Even Nib and Flu doesn't even feel that good. You can actually lock yourself out of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess you can't even really.
It's like so mid.
It's a good point.
It's also, I think Flu's more fragile than this deck as well.
Yeah, so Flu has a lot less starters. In general, Centurion, you're going to be playing like your 3 Primera, 3 Trudia, 3 Field Spell. Usually you play Terraforming, sometimes you don't, and then 3 Oath. So that's at least it's like 3, 6, 9, 12. And then there's a number of other ways you can get to your starters. I like the Super Heavy engine, and funny enough, this still works even with the Shifter lock. But you can also play Bonfire. Bonfire searches for Trudia, and that gets you your full combo. And we were bringing this up before, you pointed this out. You said, can you play Prosperity in here? Originally, and I feel like a lot of people currently who play Centurion are a little hesitant to play that because you lose out on the draw from Legatia, because that's your go-to guy. But now that you're going to be searching off of Arcoila, this one right here, you probably can play Prosperity. So consistency-wise, you can go up in that direction. If you're going to be playing Bonfire and Prosperity, obviously, like heavily consider do not play Super Heavy with that. You're probably just going to swap that out for those 2.
Yeah, it would be a whole new build, definitely.
Yeah, it's like something else you can play. I was playing Horus, and obviously you can, but you're going to be playing Shifter, and you're going to be adding in these new guys. Like that's like a pretty easy like swap out 5 cards, 6 cards for some other stuff. I've seen people play some Bestials. Yeah, I don't even want to get into the rest of these guys down here in the side deck. And again, like the hand traps are like not as relevant here, like whatever's right here. This is not a deck list per se.
Mhm.
It's just really to point out what you can do with Shifter. I don't want to waste any more time. You want to just go over to the combo and see how it's done.
Yeah, that's fine. That works perfectly. I think that's the most exciting part about it, just being able to shifter with with Centurion. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Okay, guys, so here is the one card combo very quickly. As you can see, we have Shifter in the graveyard already, so this is going to be on pretty much we're going first. We use Shifter. Now we have the freedom to not worry about Droll, Veiler, and not worry about our opponent's next turn. But just in case you really don't worry about your opponent's next turn, you could also Calamity Lock them as well. And so all of these cards here are one card Calamity Locks. So super, super strong. Of course, being able to have multiple turn skips in a deck is ridiculous. So yeah, so we're going to show you the hardest one, I would say, with this. So Nick, feel free. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's start off with the super heavy stuff. Obviously, you can pitch bike to get Wakaushi. That amounts to the same thing. So let's say we started with Wakaushi. We would activate Wakaushi to grab the Benkei, and we would summon out your Wakaushi. Then Benkei would search out your Soul Gaia booster, wherever he's at. There he is. We would equip Soul Gaia to the Wakaushi, and we would summon it out. We would overlay together, and we would make a Flame Banshee right here. The Flame Banshee, so either way, Bike or Wakaushi, you're going into this. And the whole goal of Flame Banshee is you're supposed to be searching out Trudia, because Trudia is the card that you need to pull this off. You don't even want to start Primera on its own, because that won't be able to do it. It's just these four that I showed you in the opening hand. Bike, Wakaushi, Oath, and Trudia that can do this.
So realistically, it's four cards that equal Trudia, all of them.
Yeah, anything that gets you to Trudia is the key here.
So even if you play Bonfire, it still works with that, So
right. Bonfire also works. That's true. Okay, so you normal summon your Trudia because you haven't normal summoned yet. You activate her. She will put herself back along with your Primera. Then you will activate Primera and summon her out. And she will search you the new Quick Play spell. This one requires you to have a monster card in your spell and trap zone. You do have Trudia, so you'll activate that. You will bring out a token that's level 8. And then you will synchro summon these two into your new boss monster, Arcoila. And that will search you out the field spell. The field spell requires you to send for costs to place Centurions into your back row, so you can't do that, but it doesn't even matter because you can just go to the end phase, activate the Arcoila, and grab the Primera into the back row. And if this looks familiar, it's because it is familiar. You can just go to the main phase, bring out your Primera, bring out your Trudia as a level 8, and then you can synchro these. You can search with the Primera if you want to. You don't have to. If you're trying to play around like a Fenrir or something like that, then you can just activate the Crimson, and you bring out your Calamity, and now they are both shifted and Calamity locked.
And there's just no shot that Snake Eye is ever playing through this. That is just way too much. And even I think it's funny. It's one of my favorite parts about this was that you can shifter somebody one turn, then the next turn you can Calamity lock them. After maybe the shifter's fully resolved, they're like, oh, thank God, right? You shift, let's say they go first, you shifter them, then it goes to your turn, you play Centurion, maybe you don't OTK them, and you set up a Calamity Lock instead.
Yeah.
So then, their turn 1, they get shifted, then their turn 2, they get Calamity Locked, and it's just oh, okay, nice Yu-Gi-Oh! That you're not playing.
I just got Time Walk twice. It's really fun. It's like the most miserable times when you're playing a Dragon Link deck and you Bistio away their shifter in Flu, and they're like, "Oh, thanks," and they just drop another shifter. It's like that, except I'm doing it as part of my engine. It's just it's happening.
It's just so goofy, but it's so strong. It really is, and terrifying. It is extremely terrifying to me. So yeah, when you told me this, I just felt like this was something that probably should be known because of how disgusting it is. But yeah, overall, thank you again. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to say for this combo or deck or anything like that?
Nothing really for the combo. I'll say in general that the new cards apparently do. I haven't exported as much as some of the other Centurion players, but apparently some of the newer cards do provide some more play extension. Like this quick play spell has a graveyard effect to send any Centurion from your deck to grave. So they're little things that if you're playing Centurion, you're thinking about that, you may want to consider, messing around with these cards to see what you're capable of doing. This one is Honestly, it's like the most glaring thing because it turns this deck, once this new stuff comes out, from a non-shifter deck to a shifter deck, and that's like pretty significant to me. It's like combo-y too. Like it put out big monsters, bigger than Cash does,
Hmm.
and has a ton of starters. There's like a lot going for this deck once the set comes out. I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I
really have
think
much else
there's a
to
lot
say.
of good utility, like a lot of good utility now with the new stuff plus some of the old stuff. Obviously, like Emeth has good utility. The new Synchro has ridiculous utility. The new Dragon Monster, we didn't really, that wasn't in the combo, but it's a card that has also has very good utility into the deck where you can move a
Right.
lot of things around. I was also a big fan of him. So, yeah, overall, I think that's going to be it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Just
Well,
beware of shifter. Not going
beware of a
away.
shifter. We're freaking coming for you, Snake Eye players. We're coming for you, so be ready. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below anything that you'd like to see or any other combos that you know of for Centurion. But overall, again, thank you, Nick, for showing this, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Peace out.